Hey, let me ask y'all a question. How much freedom do you really want? Or do you really think you want freedom? I'm asking this because this is something that I used to think all the time. I used to always think, man, if I just didn't have to go to work, I would never work again. And I thought this for so long, and I know a lot of people who think this way, but I think a lot of those are the same people who will end up having to work forever with no choice. And we're going to talk about that today. So, actually, I'm going to get on the move here. It's a little bit hot today, but so I got my hat on. They're trying to avoid some sun, but I'm going to go out in the sun anyway. But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, just this whole idea of having some freedom. I hear a lot of people talk about it all the time. And like I said, I used to think that way too. And one of the things that happened to me actually, for those of y'all who know, I've been a teacher for more than 15 years. And we have long holidays. Let me sit outside in the sun. We get long holidays, summer and winter holidays and all that kind of stuff. And what I noticed was that I started to become really, really bored. And I know this sounds crazy, right? But like when I get a holiday, like the first couple weeks are really, really great. They're really amazing. But then after like 2 weeks, I just really get really bored, and I'm kind of like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? I done everything I can do, and I don't know. For me, I just found it to be the case, and then also for a lot of my family members who've retired relatively early. Like my dad, I think he retired at 55, and maybe 6 months to a year later, he was right back at work again. And then my mom, the same situation. She retired, went back to work, and she's still working now. But just like sometimes, not like all the time or nothing, but just sometimes just to like have something to do. She volunteers at different places and stuff like that for free. Just volunteers just to have some kind of work structure in her life, some things to do to, I guess, to not be bored and to not like be doing like silly, unhealthy things. And I found that to be the case for myself. Like when I get some freedom, too much freedom, I become a little bit bored over time, and I start to lose a lot of structure, and I start to lose some of the disciplines that I had in my life, which I still go to the gym and still cook and all of that stuff. But even then, I still find myself wasting time doing like just nothing or doing stupid things that I don't really want to do. And that's why I asked you guys about freedom. Like, what does it really mean to you to be free and have freedom? It's like in my case, for example, I do feel a lot more free now since I've changed jobs. I was working 40 to 60 hours a week, and I didn't really necessarily like the job, stressed out and stuff. But I changed jobs to where now, I'm only working like 16 hours a week. I have like zero commute time, all that stuff. And so I have a lot more freedom, but also I have structure. So it's like a mixture of both. I have freedom and structure in my life, and I think that works well for me. But a lot of people, they just have this idea like, oh, if I just have so much money, I don't need to work, I won't work again. But a lot of those people don't have anything to do. Like, I think you need some type of structure or some type of purpose, something to do that's actually productive, not just like sit on the couch, watch TV, something to do, but actually do something. Like for me, like in my spare time, like now, I make YouTube videos because I actually enjoy it. It's not like trying to like make a bunch of money or nothing like that. I just like doing it, like chatting to people, and like sharing things with people. And that's one of the reasons why I make YouTube videos. But also, go to the gym 4 days a week, and I actually do some running, like not long distance running. I do sprint training on a running track, just like once per week. But those things don't take up a long time. I go to the gym maybe 1.5 hours. That's 4 days per week. So, 6 hours a week, maybe 30 minutes a week sprint training. And then other than that, I just have a lot of free time that I use to make videos and things like hobbies, I would say, that I like to do. But if you don't have those kind of things in your life, you don't have some type of hobbies that you like to do, you're going to be really bored really fast, just in my experience. And even I have hobbies that I like to do, and I still find myself becoming very bored after I complete my hobbies, and then I still have so much time in the day. I try to figure out what the hell to do with my time. And so, too much freedom can be a bad thing, but I think having the option to be free is what a lot of people probably want, and not necessarily freedom. Like, I think people want to have the financial stability to be like, okay, if I don't like the situation I'm in, I can leave it and then wait till a better situation comes along, something like that. I think that's the freedom that a lot of people really want, but they don't say it or don't really know that they want that because they haven't experienced that before. And as somebody who's slowly built this up, I started, dirt poor. I was even homeless at one point in time, and I've worked hard my whole life. And during all those times when I was really working hard and trying to scrape money together and saving every penny I could get, I just kept thinking, man, I wish I didn't have to do this. But then when I got to the point where I was financially free enough to not have to work if I don't want to, I found myself feeling like, man, I'm glad I got something to do. Like, I really do, enjoy doing my job. I think a lot of people don't like their job, and that's one of the reasons why they can't wait to get out. And I guess that's something else I would say. Like, I have a couple of relatives, for example, I have like an aunt and an uncle, both. They're not married, they're brother and sister, but like, they're in these jobs, like not now, they did these sales jobs all their life where they're always talking to people and always dealing with people, and their personalities are like that. They're really good at talking to people, really good at socializing and making friends, and I think that enabled them to have a career that they actually enjoyed. And I think those type of things are important, because if you're that type of personality, like my aunt and uncle, for example, if you're one of those people who like to socialize and like to chat with people, and you got some job where you're stuck in a office cubicle, isolated, doing some type of typing crap, you're not going to have a happy employment or happy career, and you'll be wanting that freedom as soon as possible. So I think a lot of it has to do with finding something that you actually like to do, and doing that, even if it means making less money or whatever, if it's something that makes you feel good, something that you feel happy with or feel content with at least, I think you won't be searching for freedom as bad as you would if you weren't happy, But also, I think building up the financial stability is probably the most important thing, because knowing that you have options. I mean, that's what it's been for me, because I've been a teacher for 15 years, and there were times where I hated it and times where I loved it. And some of that kind of falls back on the financial stability part. Back when I was broke and doing it, when I first started, I liked it, but then at one point in time, I was still, not very financially stable, and I was still doing it. And I was also hustling, doing all kind of other stuff on the side, but I was doing it, and I didn't like doing it. But I didn't like the environment, like the coworkers I had, and some of the places and things like that, that made a big difference on everything. And then once I got the financial stability, and also found the type of job and the type of hours that I really enjoyed, then everything changed. So, just some food for thought I'd share with you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What does freedom mean to you? And how much freedom is too much freedom? Would you stop working right now today if you could? Like, if money wasn't an issue, would you just quit working? If you did, what would you be doing? I'm curious. Let me know that in the comments below. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Y'all take care.